Most of us think that building wealth is like winning the lottery, right? You're either born with a silver spoon or you just get incredibly lucky. But what if that's a total lie? What if wealth isn't about luck at all, but about a very specific, learnable equation? Well, today, we're going to smash apart that whole salary for time mindset and show you the actual formula that leads to real financial freedom. You know what I'm talking about. It's that knot in your stomach, the Sunday scaries, when you realize the weekend's over and tomorrow, it's back on the hamster wheel. But it's more than just not wanting to go to work. It's that deep down anxiety you get when you look at your bank account, you look at your bills, and you realize the path you're on, it just doesn't add up. And that feeling, it kind of pushes you toward this one pretty dark thought. The game is completely rigged. You start to believe this system is designed for people like you to lose. You see wealthy people and just assume they inherited it, got lucky, or they cheated, because from where you're standing, the math just doesn't work any other way. Okay, but this is where we need to pump the brakes. Because that idea that all the wealthy people are just trust fund kids, it's a really comfortable myth, isn't it? It's a great excuse to have. But the actual data, it tells a completely different story. And yeah, the numbers here are pretty mind-blowing. A report from WealthX looked at the super rich, we're talking people with a net worth of $30 million or more, and found that a whopping 68% of them are entirely self-made. That's almost 7 out of every 10. The people who just inherited it all, they're actually the minority here. And look, these aren't just numbers on a page. Think about these names. We've got people here who started with absolutely nothing, some of them in extreme poverty, and they went on to build actual empires. This proves without a doubt that something else is going on here besides inheritance. So, if they could do it, why is almost everyone else still stuck? Well, the answer is that most of us are playing by the wrong rules. We're using a broken formula that we've all been taught. Go to school, land a good job, and trade your time for a salary. And on the surface, that sounds perfectly reasonable, until you actually do the math. All right, let's just run some basic math here. Let's say you're doing okay for yourself, earning a solid $20 an hour. You work a standard 40-hour week every single week of the year. No sick days, no unpaid vacations. You're just grinding. So how long do you think it would take to gross $1 million at that rate? The answer is it's insane. Nearly 24 years, almost 2.5 decades of your life just to hit that first million in total earnings. And here's the real kicker. That's before taxes, before rent, before food, and before inflation eats away at its value. I mean, even if you manage to save a generous 10% of that, you might become a millionaire right around the time you're ready to retire. By then, your most valuable asset, your time, it's gone. That right there is the trap. So if the old way is just a mathematical dead end, what's the new way? It's a totally different equation, and it has 3 key parts: value, scale, and automation. Let's dig into the first one, because it's the foundation for everything else: perceived value. This is going to sound harsh, but it's the truth. The market does not care how hard you work. It cares about your perceived value. A cleaner does back-breaking physical labor, but they're easily replaceable. An accountant, on the other hand, uses specialized knowledge and can save a company thousands of dollars. They're hard to replace, so the market gives them a higher value. It's not about fairness, it's about replaceability and the size of the problem you solve. And that brings us to maybe the most important mental switch you can possibly make. You see, money is just a side effect. It's like a thank you note you get from society for solving a problem. The bigger and more painful the problem you solve, the more thank you notes you get. But hey, just solving a problem isn't enough. You have to be able to solve it at scale. Think about a yoga teacher who charges $100 an hour. That's great money, but it's still just a job in disguise. Why? Because they're capped by the number of hours in a day. To really break through that ceiling, you have to separate your income from your time, like a piece of software that can be sold to 1 million people at once, or a franchise that has hundreds of locations running for you. And this is the final piece of the puzzle: automation. Your goal is not to be the hardest worker in your business. The goal is to build a business that runs without you. This is the crucial difference between owning a really high-paying job and owning a true business asset. So okay, let's say you do it. You build this incredible, automated, scalable, problem-solving machine. What's the end game? What is all of the struggle and effort really for? This is where we need to redefine the entire goal of getting wealthy in the first place. Once that machine is humming along, you basically have 2 ways to cash out.
The first one is passive income. The business just keeps on running, putting money in your pocket while you do other things. The second path, though, is the one that creates mind-boggling wealth, and that's the acquisition.
You see, an automated profitable business isn't just an income stream. It's an asset you can sell. The founders of Instagram didn't get $1 billion from ad revenue. They got it when they sold the whole thing to Facebook. And when eBay bought PayPal, that one transaction made Elon Musk $165 million. He didn't get that from saving up his salary, that's for sure. And this gets to the absolute heart of it all. The goal isn't the sports car or the giant mansion. The ultimate prize of the wealth equation is freedom. It's the ability to wake up on a Tuesday morning and decide to do whatever you want with your day. It's not about buying things, it's about buying back your life.
Now, look, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds incredibly hard, incredibly risky, and you're not wrong. A lot of people fail. But let's just flip our whole idea of risk versus safety on its head for a second.
And listen, you don't have to go quit your job tomorrow. That's not the point. You can start practicing this right now. Change your mindset at your job. Stop just doing your tasks. Start looking for the real problems, the things that are costing your company money or time. Solve those. Your value will explode, and you'll start building leverage you never knew you had. You can practice the equation from right inside the safety net.
So I'm going to leave you with one last question to really think about. We're all taught that getting a salary is the safe, secure option, but your time, that is the one thing in the universe you can never, ever get back. Once an hour is spent, it is gone forever. So you have to ask yourself, is trading a lifetime of your finite, irreplaceable time for a paycheck, is that really the safe play? Or is it, when you do the math, the absolute biggest risk you could possibly take?